that they
Dhruv,
were
we just
practiced
want to
on
go
that.
across to Pavni Mittal, who's been with us all day and has really, really been outstanding and given us a feel of what it's like in New York with the crowds. Of course, there was a very subtle change. As soon as Trump started winning, she shifted right across to Trump Tower. That's how checks and balances. And I'm just kidding. But Pavni, before coming to you, I just want to summarize once again who voted for Trump and who did not. If we look at gender, it was very simple. Men, more than 50% of the men, 54% of men voted for Trump, if we can have that graphic on, and only 44% of women voted for Trump. So 54% of men voted for Trump, 44% of women. That's the broad gender. What about in terms of race? Here it is that white 55% voted for Trump, Hispanics 45% voted for Trump, Indians 31%, and blacks 12%. So it's not as though black men voted in huge numbers, 12% overall. Who voted for Trump and who did not? The young did not really, only 44%. He would have lost the election if America was all under 45 years. And older uncles, 51% voted for Trump. And finally, education. And this, of course, cuts across all those other categories we say, men, women, race, etc. No college degree, 54% voted for Trump. College degree, 41%. And in your reporting, Pavni, have you found this kind of divisions in the society?
Good morning. Yes, I'm back at Trump Tower, and because of security, we've had to sort of move away. Now, coming to your question about the division, yes, we've seen that, in fact, this election has been sort of defined by that gender gap, where you've seen, especially among young voters, most women, move more liberal, and most men, and the percentage of men is slightly lower than that of women moving towards, liberal politics. A lot of men moving more towards the right. The big divide, and I know we've talked about race and we know we've talked about class, but education has become a big, big divider in American society. The other thing is, you had a small percentage of uncommitted voters. You mentioned Arab voters, in Dearborn. What's interesting is, and I've spoken to a lot of, Arab American voters over the course of the last few months, and for them, many of them have come out and described Joe Biden as Genocide Joe. They have been extremely angry with the war that has now expanded. Interestingly, it's important to also see that two Democrats who were very vocal against, Israel's actions in the Middle East, Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, they have actually won their seats. So the analysis is that Kamala Harris's inability to sort of break away from, what has been America's policy towards Israel over the last year, and sort of come out, and she's been rather shifty on this topic. Somewhere she will say, Israel has the right to defend itself, and we will never pull back support. Over the last few days, she has been talking a lot about, we need a two-state solution. But at the end of the day, it just came across as insincere. Immigration, again, a big issue, and that really comes down to Harris, because Biden gave immigration to her. So her own track record in this case has not has actually harmed her. During Biden administration, immigration, especially migration from the southern border, has been at record highs. I also want to add, now, when we speak of Indians and H-1Bs, let's also not forget that one of the largest groups, in fact, I think the third largest group of migrants at the southern border are coming from